Have you ever wondered what it means to fight for one's own freedom? In the vast ocean, a young whale, trapped in fishing nets, faces the greatest battle of her life. But this is not just a story about survival, it's about courage, unity, and how determination can transform even the most desperate situations. Stay until the end to discover how the efforts of a group of fishermen and the strength of an indomitable spirit created a moment that would forever change the connection between man and nature. This story will touch you. Shall we begin? The sun was beginning to rise, casting its soft light over the calm coast. But amidst the peace of the cove, a strange sound cut through the air. It was a desperate cry, the echo of a whale in trouble. The young Luna was trapped in a fishing net, struggling to breathe as her strength faded. What was happening in those calm waters? The fishermen were about to discover that this would be a day that changed their lives forever. The fishermen, starting their workday, heard the anguished sound coming from the cove. Mateo's heart, an experienced man of the sea, raced. He knew what that cry meant, a whale in danger. But how to save such a large and powerful creature from a deadly net? Time was against them, and the young whale was running out of strength. What would Mateo do to not lose that chance? The waves crashed harder, as if the sea was warning, there is no time to waste. Mateo didn't lose a second. Go! He shouted to his crew, his eyes focused in the direction of the sound. Water splashed around the boats as the fishermen sped toward the cove. What they found was more devastating than they imagined, a young whale, her grayish-white skin glistening in the morning light, completely wrapped in fishing nets. She was struggling desperately, and the air was thick with tension. They needed to act quickly, but would it be too late? As the fishermen fought to get closer, the whale showed signs of panic. Her struggle intensified, and the anguish in Luna's eyes was palpable. The young whale was not only physically trapped, but she also seemed to be losing hope. What must she have felt upon seeing the men approaching? Did she understand that someone was there to help her, or was her struggle a solitary quest for freedom? The sea was about to reveal whether Luna's determination would be stronger than the nets that kept her captive. The scene was heart-wrenching. The young whale Luna was thrashing about, ensnared in a net that seemed to drain her strength and hope. The fishermen knew that the rescue would be complicated. A wrong move could injure the whale or even capsize their boats, Mateo warned, his voice steady but concerned. Luna seemed to sense the approach of humans, and her struggle became more intense, the water exploding in splashes around her. Could they gain her trust before it was too late? The clock was ticking, and every second was crucial. Mateo took the first step, throwing a rope into the water to stabilize the boat, while the others prepared with sharp knives to cut the nets. "Calm down, girl, we're here to help," he murmured, trying to keep his voice steady. The whale, however, reacted more strongly, her powerful tail slapping the water in a gesture of pure instinct. The tension was palpable. Every movement of the fishermen had to be precise, but the question remained, would Luna understand that they were there to save her? The nets that trapped Luna were thick, a tangle of ropes that made any quick cutting attempts difficult. With each attempt by the fisherman, she reacted, increasing the risk of injuring herself further. Mateo led the operation, keeping his crew calm. "She is scared. We need to act with patience, but we can't linger." The struggle between time, fear, and human skill created an atmosphere of pure adrenaline. What was at stake was not just Luna's life, but the bond between man and nature. As the fishermen worked, Luna began to tire, her movements becoming slower. "She is losing strength," shouted one of the fishermen, his tone alarmed. But Mateo noticed something in the whale's eyes, a spark of determination. "She is still fighting. We can't give up now," he asserted, as he cut another part of the net. The sea seemed to calm for a moment, as if recognizing the combined effort of humans and the young whale. The question that hung in the air was inevitable: would they be able to save her before her last breath was taken? Luna was on the brink of her strength. Her movements, once vigorous, were now weak, almost desperate, as the weight of the net seemed to increase with every second. The fishermen, in turn, were also fighting against time, frantically cutting the ropes that held the young whale. "We won't let her sink," Matteo stated, his voice filled with determination. But would Luna have the strength to keep fighting? The sea, a silent witness to the drama, seemed to hold its breath along with her. With each part of the net cut away, Luna began to feel a glimmer of freedom. Driven by a deep instinct, she made an unexpected move, twisting her body with a strength that no one imagined she still had. "She hasn't given up," Matteo exclaimed, feeling a new wave of hope wash over the boat. The young whale seemed to understand that this was her last chance, her only opportunity to survive. What would happen next would depend as much on Luna's strength as on the speed and skill of the fishermen. The fishermen worked in sync, their movements precise as if guided by a greater force. Each knife sliding through the ropes of the net was one step closer to Luna's liberation. Despite being exhausted, no one stopped. "One more cut and she will be free," shouted one of the fishermen, while Matteo kept his eyes fixed on the young whale. But Luna also needed to cooperate. Would she be able to make that final effort? The atmosphere was one of pure suspense, and everyone there knew they were witnessing something extraordinary. When the last rope was cut, Luna made a final push, using all the energy that remained in her tired body. With a graceful movement, she broke the last fragments of the net that held her captive. Silence was replaced by shouts of joy from the fishermen as the young whale emerged for a deep breath. The sight of Luna free, moving smoothly through the water, was nothing short of a miracle. But the lingering question was, what would Luna do with her newly regained freedom? The sea seemed to respond with calm waves, as if in approval. The cove fell into a silence heavy with expectation. The net was finally broken, and Luna, now free, floated for a few seconds as if reconnecting with the ocean that had almost been taken from her. Then, with a powerful movement, she emerged from the water, releasing a jet of air from her spiracle, as a symbol of victory. The sound echoed through the cove, and the fishermen celebrated with cries of relief and joy. But the true breathtaking moment was yet to come. What would Luna do with her newly acquired freedom? With a graceful motion, Luna began to swim, her movements gaining strength and rhythm with each passing second. The water around her seemed to shimmer with new life as she moved away from the nets that had almost destroyed her. Then, as if she wanted to express her gratitude, the young whale performed a spectacular leap. Her enormous tail struck the air, and a shower of sparkling droplets spread like stars over the fishermen. Matteo, moved, whispered that she was thanking them. It was a spectacle that no one there would ever forget. The fishermen, still breathless, watched as Luna swam toward the horizon. The sea seemed to open up for her, offering a path of golden light reflected by the sun. Matteo, who had always believed in the power of connection between man and nature, wiped a tear from his weary face. He murmured that she had made it, filled with pride and relief. The silence that followed was no longer one of tension but of reverence, a moment of communion among all those present and the infinite ocean. Luna's return to freedom was not just her victory, but a lesson for all who witnessed her rescue. Inspired by the whale's courage and the strength of her struggle, the fishermen decided to change their methods to protect marine life. Luna, now far away, carried in every dive the memory of that moment, as a symbol of resilience and hope. And the sea, always vast and mysterious, held the story of a young whale and a group of humans who, together, proved that determination can overcome any obstacle. Luna's story did not end in the cove. In fact, that was where it began. Inspired by the rescue of the young whale, the local fishermen decided to change their practices, replacing traditional nets with safer gear for marine life. The local community began to see the ocean with new eyes, recognizing their responsibility to protect its creatures. Luna, in turn, returned to the vast sea, becoming a symbol of resistance and hope for all who knew her. Although Luna disappeared on the horizon, her story continued to inspire conversations about environmental preservation and the strength of the animal spirit. The waves that morning carried more than salt and foam, they spread a message of unity between man and nature. And as the sun shone over the endless waters, the lesson remained: even amid the greatest challenges, determination and compassion can change the world. After all, the ocean never forgets those who fight for freedom. Freedom is like the vast ocean, essential, immeasurable, and full of challenges. Just as the young whale Luna struggled to break free from the nets that held her, we all face obstacles that keep us from reaching our full potential. Every act of courage and every gesture of solidarity is a wave that contributes to a fairer sea, where everyone can breathe, dream, and live fully. The fight for freedom is not just individual, it is a tide that needs to embrace the entire society. Without freedom, we are like anchored vessels, unable to navigate towards our dreams or help those around us. When we fight not only for our own freedom but also for that of others, we create currents of change that transform lives and inspire futures. May we be like the ocean, strong, united, and unstoppable, protecting one another and ensuring that no one gets caught in nets that could suffocate their right to live freely. After all, freedom is the greatest gift we can give and receive. Did you enjoy this moving story about courage and freedom? Be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to receive more inspiring stories like this one. Share it with your friends and help spread the message about environmental preservation, the importance of freedom, and the unity between man and nature. Leave your comment telling us what touched you most in this story and join this chain of transformation.